And welcome, everybody, to another episode of Come Play With Us, Danny, the horror movie review podcast, hosted by myself, my sister Megan.
Hola.
Evening, everyone.
Evening.
As always, before our episode, make sure you go to our YouTube page at Come Play With Us, Danny Show, and hit that subscribe and notification bell so you can get new episodes, because new episodes are great. And it's the month of Halloween, and we've got a lot of episodes coming to you.
Yes.
As well as us being at Halloween Horror Nights in a couple of weeks.
So
happy,
excited.
happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. And please forgive the blue tint on the names and on the bottom too as well. That's from my previous show, which I forgot to change the color on. So,
I was wondering what that was.
yeah, don't worry about that at all. So.
Okay.
Well, tonight's episode, and before I get into the title, I have plenty of movie news.
I'm so excited about that.
Like a gargantuan size movie news prefla of movie news.
Prefla? That was a big word you pulled out of there.
I know, right? But anyways, our movie tonight is The Exorcist, which kind of coincides with the release of The Exorcist Believer, which is tanking at the box office and has had horrible upon horrible reviews. So that's why we're reviewing the good one. You can say the third is actually a good one, but yeah,
the third wasn't bad.
The third is a good one, but The Exorcist, the original, is the best. We're gonna give you guys our take, which, I'll go into it. The Exorcist, of course, came out in 1973. It's an American supernatural horror film directed by William Friedkin. It is from a screenplay by William Peter Blatty, based on his actual book of the same name. The film stars Ellen Burstyn, Max von Sydow, Jason Miller, and Linda Blair. And if you don't know the plot of this film, you need to go see the movie, because I don't need to explain it to you, because this movie's been around for like almost 40 years and you've been living under a rock.
If you've never seen this movie, then there's some serious, you need to look inside.
Before we kind of give our take, Megan, I want to kind of give you my synopsis of how like this movie really changed the horror game.
Okay.
And really kind of made a huge impact on cinema when it came out, because really nothing like this had been seen before.
Okay.
When it came to like a horror movie, this is like something, and plus like the behind the scenes stuff that happened, like on the filming locations, like a lot of weird stuff was happening. I know a couple of crew members got hurt.
I have fun facts about this movie too.
Okay, well, we can do fun facts later. But yeah, I think, and also too, this was the first horror movie to be nominated for Best Picture for an Oscar, which is
that's fantastic.
That's crazy. Like no other horror film, I don't think, has ever been nominated since for Best Picture.
No,
maybe Jaws. Maybe
Jaws may have been.
Yeah.
But
this was like the first.
This is like the very first.
Yeah, the first. Now, did you see this home media or did you see this in theaters? Because they did re-release this in theaters, I think, in the mid 90s. It was almost like the director's cut in the mid 90s.
No, I saw this at home. I saw this MC actually. I actually have the book, so I've read the book first, and then I saw the movie. Which in any adaptation, the book is going to be a lot worse than the actual film itself.
Obviously.
Yeah, I saw it at home. It was AMC was running it. It was actually one of their horror fests. And I actually ended up watching it. So
gotcha. Yeah. So I actually saw this in the theaters when they re-released it as like the director's cut. So they had like all the added scenes that weren't in the theatrical cut, like the spider walk scene.
Mm-hmm.
That was put in there, and then the crucifix scene that was in there. So like seeing this in the movie theater, and I saw this with a bunch of friends in I think it was middle school or high school. I just remember, because I had never seen it on home video before. This was like my first time actually seeing The Exorcist, all together. And I was blown away because, as a possession film and as a horror film, it's almost, I mean, you can almost kind of look at it as almost as like a documentary, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Just the kind of way it was filmed, and like the whole exorcism, like, scenes and whatnot. It to me was almost filmed like, hey, this could have maybe have happened in real life. But I just think, production overall, performances overall, like what a like legendary cast. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Max von Sydow, Ellen Burstyn, like, even as Reagan McNeil, I think, Linda Blair really shines, and you know how my feelings are with child actors.
Yes, I know.
She shines as a possessed child, and it was a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic performance overall. And I think the impact this made on exorcism films that came after it is, this is the staple. And we've seen so many carbon copies, and now we have also the Exorcist Believer, which is supposed to kick up. I hate David Gordon Green, by the way, and I swear the rumors are now that he was contacted about doing a Star Wars film. If that ever happens, no, 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 no.
Seriously, a Star Wars movie?
Yeah,
Come
he was
on.
contacted to do possibly to do a Star Wars film, and I hope that never happens because he is terrible. He needs to leave.
He's
He needs to leave legendary IPs alone.
he's ruined several franchises already, and he just needs to stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of him whatsoever. I actually read an article about him before I got on here, and he was talking about DC and Marvel, how he's never been contacted to do any of those movies, and
We don't need you.
we don't want you to.
We don't want you to be ever contacted about that.
So going back to what you basically said about Exorcist, so I do agree on this. This pretty much paved the way for possession movies. Now, granted, the possession movies since this movie have not been the best.
No,
but I do
but
think
the Pope's exorcism is the best.
I knew you were going to bring that up, but I just think that it was very well directed. It was very well done. Like you said, the cast was fantastic. I mean, even Linda Blair being around the age of 12 that she did a fantastic job at this.
Mm-hmm.
And Ellen Burstyn is probably, she's one of the best out there as it is. I just think that I don't think there was anything in this movie that I could have picked out that was bad. Like I didn't see any flaws.
Yeah, you really can't nitpick anything of this movie.
No,
I can't find anything that you could nitpick at all.
Mm-hmm.
If
Even special effects.
Yeah, like who would have thought you would have a new, I wouldn't say like a new view of pea soup, but like now, like if you like pea soup is like,
yeah,
now can be used for many things besides just eating it. Like I'm gonna spew off the amount of awards this was nominated for, and I'll go the Golden Globes first. Best Motion Picture, Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Ellen Burstyn. Best Supporting Actor was Max von Sydow. Best Supporting Actress, Linda Blair won that one. Best Director,
she should have.
William Friedkin won Best Director. William Peter Blatty won Best Motion Picture Screenplay, and then Most Promising Newcomer with Linda Blair. She was nominated for that. But Academy Awards, nominated for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Academy Awards. Only won one, which is the Best Screenplay by William Peter Blatty. But like, it was Best Picture nominated, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress. So, and as a horror movie, especially nowadays, like horror movies don't even get a chance to shine in those types of awards.
No,
but The Exorcist did.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think I wish, there's been a lot of like horror movies since that have been pretty good. I mean, maybe not Best Picture nominated, but maybe considered for a couple Academy Awards. But like The Exorcist really has like really put the tent pole up there pretty high when it comes to being like a horror. Like as horror films go, you have masterpieces, and I think this is up there with a masterpiece as a horror film.
Well, it's one of those movies that you don't lose interest in.
Right.
Because, some of the older 1970s movies, some of the older 1980s movies, it can get so repetitious and you could lose the storyline, and then you're watching it and you're like, what the?
Which one really kind of sticks out for me is one of those older films is Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby.
I was going to name that. That was one of those. Yeah.
is a film that it drags to me a little bit, and
Yeah.
really kind of filmed in the same era as The Exorcist, but like when it comes to a film, it just drags. But with The Exorcist, you don't like. There's so many you don't know what to expect in the next scene.
No, but it keeps you going, and it keeps you interested. And it's Damien, or The Omen is another one right up there with Rosemary's Baby. It was a decent movie,
Yeah,
but not to the quality of The Exorcist,
The Exorcist.
because again, The Omen, for those who have never seen The Omen.
See, I like The Omen though.
I didn't.
It's all for you, Damien.
I mean, it was
all for you.
in the realms of the 1970s horror flicks. The Omen was done well, but to me, it didn't hold any type of
Right.
interest. Like, does that make sense? Like,
It does.
they did a remake, I think it was in the 90s with Julia Stiles. Was that the 90s? I
I
think it
think that
was.
was early I think it
Was it
was in the
2000?
it was in the 2000s, yeah, with Liev Schreiber and Julia
Yeah.
Stiles, yeah.
I honestly thought that was like a little more interesting than the original was.
I think that remake came out the same time as when they rebooted the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You're correct. And that was
Like
actually
around that time.
2004, 2007, I think
Yeah,
it
that was
was.
around that
Yeah.
time, yeah.
So, The Exorcist, in even looking at reviews and looking at, comments about this movie, they even said it was one of the scariest films of the 70s of all times, because it
Right.
was very unnerving. As much as you see all these films, and a lot of the 80s and 70s movies are really fucking hokey, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is not scary. This is kind of unnerving, this movie. Like, there's a lot of people that didn't want to go see it, and I actually read a review just a minute ago about how they said this movie made people vomit in theaters. That
Well,
I
I
can
mean,
believe.
when you see, like, pea soup coming out of a child, I mean, it's,
I mean, and how they actually did that scene, fantastic.
Yeah. Do
I
you
thought it
know
was great.
initially this movie had mixed reviews?
Yes, I did.
Initially? But
Yes,
then
initially.
it just started to gain that traction about
Mhm.
I think plus with the behind the scenes stuff too, it just gained that it was almost like the word of mouth before the word of mouth,
Mhm.
starts that with movies. And with what I loved about it the most is just like the practical effects on it too.
Oh yeah.
The makeup, like when she's fully scarred up as the demon, like
Mhm.
that's some scary shit.
Well, and I'm a makeup horror and FX horror. I love all that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
the amount of hours that are actually put into doing that type of makeup, and the amount of makeup that she has on her face is, for her to be able to sit there and actually endure that just for a couple shots to begin with is fantastic. And,
Mhm.
and a lot of this, a lot of these movies, you have people that do a lot of special effects and a lot of makeup and stuff like that. And I know this movie didn't have, there's certain movies that have like curses on them, like Poltergeist.
This
That
one
movie
did.
was, this one did also.
Did.
So this one also had Ellen Burstyn and actually Linda Blair actually were injured in
Didn't
this.
Ellen Burstyn, she broke her back in this movie?
She broke her back, and actually Linda Blair broke several ribs.
Yeah.
I think at one point when they were doing the bed scene where she was being thrashed back and
Rush back
forth,
and forth, yeah.
they actually broke a rib or two on her, and maybe I think her wrist
Mhm.
in this movie. So, even then, like nowadays, a lot of actors don't even do their own stunts. And you have a 12-year-old girl that's doing her own stunts in this movie. So I just thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I think even like at repeat viewings, I'm actually gonna like rewatch tonight, to be honest with you. Me and the wife are gonna,
There you go.
we're kicking off our Halloween month, and we're gonna watch The Exorcist tonight. It's such a rewatchable movie too,
Hmm.
just because it's that great. Like if it's on
Yeah.
TV, I'm definitely gonna watch it. If it's like
Yeah.
now since it's on streaming, like I'm gonna watch it, especially
What,
during Halloween time, because it's such a watchable movie. It's
what
on Amazon.
platform
I
is
think
it
it's
on?
on Amazon Prime. I think for free.
Oh,
I have to
okay.
double check that though. I think it is on Amazon Prime. But I think the cultural impact to this movie has just the way it just blew people's expectations out. I mean, it was a box office smash,
Hmm.
and was nominated for so many awards. And just uh, when it comes to perfect movies, this is one of those perfect movies.
Oh yeah.
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 And I still am wondering about the face, the Pazuzu's face. That's one of the scariest scenes in the movies when you actually see Pazuzu's face. Is like, what did we just see?
Can I tell you what that really is? Do you know what that is?
I've heard stories about what it really is. Please enlighten the audience what it really is.
Okay, so the Pazuzu face, actually, you could see right over here over my
right behind.
shoulder.
Yeah,
So this actual image was not supposed to be into the film originally.
right.
So what this is test makeup. This is test makeup on Linda Blair. So this is actually Linda Blair right here, of what the director wanted her to look like initially in the scenes of the movies. So it was just a test makeup. And then he decided later on it wasn't what fit for the movie. But then he just decided to go ahead and put it in the movie as an image. So it actually came up as Pazuzu was how they used it in the film.
What do you think? Do you think they should have left it like that, or
No,
obviously they went with what they went with. Do you think they should have?
I think how he fit it in was great. I don't think it fit into because it was supposed to take the place of her face with being scarred up.
Right.
So I think how it was presented was this.
Mm-hmm.
You can see this is part of the movie here, but I think how that was presented, I think that was probably the best thing they could have done. The scarring of her face in the movie was the best part.
Right, I agree.
I don't think that they should have changed it or they should have kept it out whatsoever. I think that was the greatest.
I really loved how, going back to Linda Blair's performance, really how she embodied being possessed.
Yeah.
And of course she had to spew out a lot of like nasty things. And I know
yeah.
during production, like of course they had her mother there in the background, making sure everything was okay. But like, look, I mean, just the intense of that scene alone with the makeup and everything. And then that's the iconic scene where Max von Sydow's character, Father Merrin, comes in too as well. Yep. Like it's those iconic scenes that you keep seeing that are like Scary Movie too, when they parodied like her coming out and peeing on the floor. Like it's so funny, man.
Well, in actuality, it happened in the book, and a lot of like when you see some of the stuff in the scenes of this movie, the book, I'm going to tell you, is a lot harsher. It always is, and the stuff that she says in this movie is very mild compared to what was actually written in Blady's book. So, I mean, it's again, her having all that makeup on and her doing those scenes with the movies, and people don't realize how stressful it is for actors to be in those situations on a constant basis because they're subjected for several hours on end of makeup in the chairs, and then they have to do certain scenes. So I thought it was great. Have you ever seen the girl that does the cosplay of Reagan in the bed at the conventions?
No, but I have seen the one where the girl is the Ring, where she comes out of a TV.
Oh yeah,
I've seen that one.
I saw one that was at the Trans World a couple years ago. I think it was like 2022. I think it was last year. They actually have a moving bed with a Reagan actually tied onto the bed, and she's got the vomit and everything. It was the best cosplay I've seen of it in a long time. So
wow,
that was really cool.
Now that's dedication. That's a lot of work.
That's very much dedication. Yes.
Well, everybody, if you haven't seen this masterpiece of a horror film, it's on streaming right now. Go check it out. Make it a popcorn night in route to Halloween.
Just
you gotta see this.
Pea soup.
Don't eat pea soup while you watch it. Although if you do eat pea soup while you watch this movie, I'll definitely give you big ups for that because it takes a lot of stomach fortitude to do that. So let's get into movie news. Terrifier 3. The teaser will premiere only in theaters with the re-release of Terrifier 2 on November 1st, basically next month. So we will be able to see, obviously you'll probably go online after that, but the teaser for Terrifier 3 will be coming soon, which is crazy because I didn't know the movie was going to be filmed that quick, and it actually has. So
that was really quick.
I mean, listen, with obviously I'm sure his budget is much bigger, but I'm sure Damien Leone is a pretty quick filmmaker when it comes to this series, especially Terrifier 3. So
I mean, he produced 2 pretty quickly. So I mean,
I'm interested in seeing how bonkers Terrifier 3 is going to be. So
this is just going to be one giant acid trip. I'm just tell you right now, it's just not going to be. I can only imagine.
So a couple days ago, there were some 7 new horror movies that were just released on streaming and video on demand. We've got The Appendage on Hulu. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that. It's about it. Oh, you have it. It looks interesting.
It
I'm gonna
does.
check it out. The Mean One. I
Oh
want you to
God,
guess what this movie's about.
it's a fucking Grinch.
Yes. Which is who is played by David Howard Thornton, who plays
Doesn't surprise me.
yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
We also have The Jester, which is a movie about a killer clown. The Creepy Crawly, and we've got a couple more. The Conjuring universe is also coming out with a new one. The Nun 2 obviously is now on streaming and video on demand. Did you see The Nun 2?
I did.
Let's
Would
keep
you
that
like?
for no. Let's keep that for further.
Okay.
Okay. House of Dolls is on video on demand too as well, and then Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oh, come on. Are
I'm
you
not joking.
serious? Mary Had a Little Lamb?
Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's
What is happening?
its fleece was white as snow, and where Mary went.
Oh, there's actually
yes,
a trailer for this.
there's a trailer
Dark
for
Abyss.
Mary.
Of course they are.
Mary Had a Little Lamb. You know that one? Your niece is saying she knows Mary Had a Little Lamb. Not that Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Not in
Different
this
Mary
little
Had a
Mary Had a Little Lamb, Avery.
Yeah,
I'm sure this is
different Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Who is? I know Dark Abyss is producing this. Who is the?
Who's the lamb? I don't know.
No, who is the actual like producer for this?
I don't know. I haven't read
the same
the.
one.
I'm sure it's the same one that did the Winnie the Pooh thing. But here's the trailer for Mary Had a Little Lamb.
God, this.
I wish they. I know.
All right. Well,
our nursery rhymes are just.
I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I really don't. Like.
You know what they should do is have like a universe of nursery rhymes, and like Little Bo Peep would be like the Ash Williams of these like nursery rhymes.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm still telling you we should just write a horror movie and just be done with it. At this point.
All right, there's the lamb.
Is this Killer Lamb?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the? Come on, y'all. You're. Oh, come.
Is it a guy in a lamb suit?
It looks like a dude in a lamb suit.
That's a dude in a lamb suit. Don't look at that. It's going to be scary for you. Don't look at that.
Oh my God. Come on, y'all. You're reaching. You are reaching now. Is this just
the trailer for Mary?
Mary had a I can't. I'm done.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I'm done too.
Once Sesame Street starts to get into horror, then we've lost everything.
Yes. Didn't know if you knew this, but Guillermo del Toro is working on his own adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein for Netflix.
I would be extremely excited over that.
The cast so far is Mia Goth. Hopefully she doesn't talk in some stupid accent.
Oh, God.
Oscar Isaac of Dune, Moon Knight, and Star Wars. Andrew Garfield, the Amazing Spider-Man, of course, is in it. But now he has added Christoph Waltz, which you know from Inglourious Bastards and Attila Battle Angel. Yeah, great cast, stellar cast.
I'm not mad at
that. Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's version will be out next March on Netflix, so keep a lookout for that. I'm interested.
I'm interested because I'm a huge Guillermo del Toro fan, like a huge fan. I'm here for his movies.
I'm here for his movies too, and I think he'll do Frankenstein well.
Did you see Cabinet of Curiosities?
I started to watch it.
You need to watch the rest of it. It just gets so much more interesting, and that man's mind is just brilliant.
Yes.
When it comes to horror.
So you love The Craft? Remember
the
19? You love that movie?
Please, that was my high school.
That was my
life.
That was your life in high school. I remember you. Yes. Well, your favorite movie is about to get crushed because the writer of the movie has teased a potential musical based on The Craft.
God. Why?
I don't know.
A musical?
A musical.
They remade the movie already. That was bad enough as it was.
Yes, but now they're doing
a musical.
Probably. A musical.
Why?
I don't know. Because everything has to be a musical now. Beetlejuice is a musical. Back to the Future is a musical.
I saw Living Dead. Not Living Dead. Was it? Yeah, Evil Dead, the musical. Now, mind you, that was actually entertaining.
I heard that was pretty good. It was lots of blood.
It was, and it had a splash zone, which is fantastic. But come on, people. You're ruining people's childhoods here, and
especially yours now.
Oh God, yes. I am horrified. There's no way. How would you make that into a musical?
I don't know. I'm wondering.
I mean, like Sweeney Todd, great. That's meant to be a musical, but not The Craft.
Not The Craft. No.
I'm done.
So Hopefully it doesn't get done. Okay. So we've had ranges of Christmas horror movies. We've had Silent Night, Deadly Night, Black Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're having the mean one,
Krampus.
Well, now we're getting another festive horror movie based on It's a Wonderful Life.
I'm done.
But this is called It's a Wonderful Knife. It's a slasher classic meets Scream meets holiday classic. It's called A Wonderful Knife. The tagline for this movie: every time a bell rings, the angel gets to kill. It's going to be
I'm
from
done.
RLJE Films and Shudder. It'll be released in theaters November 10th and also streaming on Shudder.
It's actually going to be released in the theaters.
Yeah, probably like one of those, late night, like Burns Court Theater kind of deals, probably.
I have Shudder. I'll have to see it just for shits and giggles.
The cast is actually pretty impressive. They've got Jane Woodop from Yellow Jackets, and in the lead role of Winnie Carruthers will be Joel McHale, which you know from Community, and yeah, he'll be Winnie's
Joel
father.
McHale, really?
Joel McHale's in it. Yeah, and guess who else is in it? Our favorite horror actor himself. Justin Long is in it too as well.
Oh God, Justin, what has happened to you, sir?
I don't know, but he's in the movie.
What has happened to this man that has caused him to do?
He's slowly becoming Bobby Long.
Oh God, was it Tusk? Did Tusk put him? Well,
there's going to be a Tusk part 2. You know that, right?
I'm done. No, I can't. So I can't do this.
So keep a lookout for It's a Wonderful
Knife.
All right, so we talked about The Exorcist for our movie review. Now we're going to talk about The Exorcist Believer. The Exorcist Believer, which came out this past weekend, is coming under expectations for box office and, of course, for this planned trilogy, racking up about $27 million domestically and $45 million worldwide. It was supposed to be over about $30 million for the initial run, and it's just getting eviscerated by critics and audiences too. I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you if this movie underperforms, is the trilogy still a go though? Because now I'm not gonna go see it in the theaters.
I'm not. Well, I can't say that because my wife wants to see it.
Because I'm intrigued about if it's really that bad.
So I've learned always not to
trust critics.
Yes, exactly. Because it's usually the opposite of.
Right.
Usually if someone really fucking hates a movie, it's actually really good.
Well, audience score right now is 57%.
Well,
that's not.
I've learned not to trust audiences now either because they like to skin them a link. So there's that.
Right.
I probably will wait till it comes on streaming.
Okay, that I will too as well.
I just hope it doesn't go past this.
Okay. Because I'm just intrigued about, because obviously this is going to be a planned like trilogy. How I'm more intrigued about how the ending is going to be, or how it sets up this planned trilogy. Because if you're teasing Linda Blair's character in the movie, how is she going to fit into the trilogy? You know what I mean? Because you can't have this. Because if she's apparently alive, which apparently she is in this universe, how is she going to be used for if she's going to be used for part 2 and 3?
Well, to me, they already fucked up in how they brought back Ellen Burstyn.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that she would have more of a pertinent role in this movie. Yes, she's in the movie, but I think that it was sloppily put in. It wasn't. She should have had more of an important thing, and I think that Linda Blair should have been introduced into this. I haven't seen the movie. Just from the trailers, that's great. I mean, the trailers, you want to put the trailer up real fast, everybody sees it if you pull it real fast.
Do I have?
All right. We're talking about. Okay, I mean, I was disappointed because there was so much talk and so much hype about this trailer and how much it was going to be fantastic. And when it was introduced and when I saw it, I was like, meh, because it's reaching.
Yeah,
it's reaching. It's a reaching story.
I think critics so far are saying they're like it's trying to pull it back to like the way the original movie was, but it doesn't. It's not as
And there she is, Ellen
yeah.
Burstyn.
What I don't like about it is you're using it's you're putting two girls now are being possessed.
Yeah.
Just stick to one.
If they had kept it with the original, if they just kept it with one girl, that would have been great. But now you have to explain the story with two girls. Okay, yeah, they got lost in the woods. Something happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the purpose of having two?
Right.
That was my issue is Blumhouse, you're really starting to disappoint me. I
No,
understand.
David Gordon Green is.
All right, sorry, David Gordon Green. He should never be able to do movies ever again.
Mm-hmm.
I understand they're best friends. I understand the premise of it. I just think it's too much, and I think you're just trying to throw too much into the storyline.
Yeah.
I just, as far as possession movies goes, this is where it gets. This is where possession movies leave that great storyline like Exorcist has the original, and they start to get stupid and hokey.
Right.
And again, Ellen Burstyn, amazing actress. I just don't like how they did this.
You know what they could have done with her character is just like I wouldn't say killed her off, but you could have Linda Blair be in the Ellen Burstyn role where she like Regan McNeil explains, hey, the possession and the after effects drove my mother to basically like not go insane, but it drove my mother to death. You know what I mean?
She's 90-some years old. I'm not saying she shouldn't act. I'm not saying she shouldn't act. That's not what the point of it. But if they had Linda Blair, like you said, in that situation, it would have been a better thing. Yeah. Because even watching this trailer, there's one part where the girl starts talking talking to Ellen Burstyn like the demon did in the first movie.
Right. And even Chris McNeil's like, I know you. Like I've dealt with you before. So wait, they're saying this isn't Pazuzu, but now she's saying I've dealt with you before. Well, you haven't because this isn't Pazuzu. They even said like this Pazuzu isn't even the demon in this one.
Yeah.
So it's another demon.
You're reaching for a storyline to me. Yeah. I just was very disappointed how it was done. I've had several people tell me they've already seen it. I've told them not to tell me how they think of it. I mean, some people were like they were on the fence. Some people they didn't like it. Some people did they really liked it. I just think that it's all the movies that he's produced so far have just been you're grasping at straws as far as like the actual storyline goes.
With him, I think the only one that just with his Halloween trilogy is he should have just left it alone after the first of his Halloween because you didn't need to do 2 or 3. You didn't need to do a trilogy. No, you could have just ended with the Halloween he did. Yeah, and now you're trying to do another trilogy with another IP by doing this reimagining of
And Halloween is iconic. I don't care what you say. Halloween is iconic, and for you to keep making these movies, if you're going to do it right. Otherwise, you are literally killing the franchise. You're making it so the people nowadays won't know how good the originals are because you've introduced so much shit into it. Nobody can go back and say, "Oh, well, this is great."
Especially if you're trying to do like a requel of an IP, case in point, Halloween, in the same universe as the first movie, but you have Michael Myers who's like 85 years old, where he's still slashing. It's like, no, he's a geriatric Michael Myers. Like, if you can't run away from a geriatric Michael Myers, there's something wrong with you.
And then you start bringing in new characters like that kid Corey, who was supposedly like Michael Myers.
Don't get me started on the third one.
I know.
Don't get me started on the third one.
I know. But it's just, again, that's why I don't want this movie. I don't want this Last Exorcist to keep snowballing. Like, and I feel like that's
why you bring in Russell Crowe to have the Last Exorcist on this Exorcist movie.
That movie shot itself in the foot when it started.
They should tie these two movies in together. Have Russell Crowe.
How the fuck would you tie that into each other?
Like, I am here to do the Exorcist.
Oh my god. So, like, and I know you don't want me to give my opinion on The Nun too. it goes along the same lines as it's so much of a hype. If you guys are gonna do, if you're gonna do a possession, if you're gonna do anything that has to do with the church, if you're gonna do anything that has any of these movies, do it right. Because you're skewing these storylines, you're making it stupid. So people are like, I don't know if I can watch this anymore because it's dumb.
And also too, especially if it's in the Conjuring universe, stop tagging it's in the Conjuring universe because you're just making the Conjuring universe just convoluted and just so bad. Like, I just don't just say it's a standalone movie. It has maybe some sprinkles of the Conjuring universe, but don't put that in the tag. I know that's the selling point for these movies is it's in the Conjuring universe. It's like, well,
the Conjuring universe is probably one of my favorite ones.
Mine too as well, but then they've been throwing out these movies that are just it's in the Conjuring universe. Yeah, but it stinks.
It stinks. It's dumb. Like it shouldn't even be in the same Conjuring universe. And if I was Lorraine and Ed Warren, who are passed away now, I'd be offended. I'd come back and haunt somebody as honestly as I would.
All right, you've got some fun facts about The Exorcist. What do you got?
I do. So just real fast, I did mention about Ellen Burstyn and Linda Blair getting hurt. So like I just mentioned, so the subliminal creepy face is from a makeup test. That was the Pazuzu face. One of the scariest moments in Exorcist is one of the most subtle. A face flashes on the screen while Father Karras, which is Jason Miller, is dreaming.
Karras, your mother's.
Demi. This was taken from footage of an early makeup test in the documentary Leap of Faith. For those who have never actually seen that documentary,
very good documentary, by the way.
It is. Fredkin explained that the first makeup test for Regan, Linda Blair, was just a white face, dark eyes, and red lines under the face, which is what you see over my shoulder over here. But he didn't like this look for her. Months later, editor Bud Smith pointed out how a shocking frame from the makeup test looked when flashed on screen. So he just kind of decided, hey, it wasn't in the script, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it in anyway. Another one is Linda Blair and Ellen Burstyn were really injured. Blair recalled in an episode of Cursed Films, for those who have actually not seen that, that's another documentary, which is fantastic, that for the sequence where Regan thrashes back and forth on her bed, she was laced into a piece of equipment. But during one take, the lacing came loose and it fractured her lower spine. So Blair was the one that actually had her spine injured. They didn't send her to a doctor, and it's the footage that's actually in the movie. So when she's actually crying out in pain, she's actually being hurt. Similarly, when Chris McNeil, Ellen Burstyn falls after Regan slaps her, Burstyn injured her back also. She said she screamed in horrendous pain, recounted the documentary The Fear of God, noting that she was furious because Fredkin directed the cinematographer to tilt the camera down on me before calling an ambulance. I hate it. So there was a man who appears in the movie that was actually convicted later of murder. Paul Bateson, who briefly appears in The Exorcist as a radiology technician, was convicted of murdering a film reporter 6 years after the movie release. His conviction, along with stories about the numerous deaths connected to the people who worked on The Exorcist, bolstered this reputation as a cursed film.
I don't know about.
No.
Look, death comes for us all, so I don't.
It does. Eventually, it does.
Anything, but I mean, listen.
No.
I'm not really religious. You are either.
I'm not.
But I think when you start to tinker around with like that sort of material, spooky things tend to happen.
My view on things is, and I'm not going to get religious by any standards, is if you put it out there, it has a tendency to walk right back in.
I like that.
So that's, like you just said, if you are in a situation where you're messing around with things you really probably don't understand, you have a tendency to let them in. Yes. The set was also ridiculously cold to make Regan's room cold enough so her breath would be visible. 4 air conditioners were used to bring the temperature down on set as low as 40 degrees below zero.
My kind of movie set, by the way.
Same. So Fredkin actually drew from a tape of a real exorcism. According to the Fredkin director's commentary, he took the phrase "the power of Christ compels you" from an audio of an actual exorcism performed at the Vatican, where these words were said repeatedly. Fredkin also revealed that he took the sound of demonically possessed boy from this tape and mixed it into the film. See, this is where you
start to tinker. Yeah.
This is when you start to do stupid shit that you think is cool, and then you start letting stupid shit in. And see the last one. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. The vomit in the face surprised Jason Miller.
Oh, I bet.
When Reagan vomits on Father Karras, the plan was for him to be hit in the sweater. But according to the Fear of God documentary, actor Miller was accidentally hit in the face, and this take was used in the movie. Says my momentary action was I was a little pissed off, Miller recalled. There was an actual rifle shot on set. So that was just kind of, one of those, it was just one of those movies that they say that certain things that's had gone wrong and done that. But like I said before, you start doing stupid shit.
I wonder if it was pea soup with bacon.
I don't know.
Just regular pea soup.
I don't know what the vomit was used. I'm actually, what was the?
It was it Campbell's? Was
vomit used?
Was it homemade?
Campbell's?
Was it handmade? I mean, did they use a ham hock for it?
That's gross.
You know, it'd be funny if they ever did like a meta like movie. You know how they did the disaster artists for, The Room.
Yes.
If they did like a meta kind of like a disaster artist for like The Exorcist to be seen after they did the pea soup vomiting and they have people in the background eating pea soup.
That's disgusting.
Like cut. Okay, next take. Like
in the back room. I need some crackers.
Yeah. Need some cornbread. Need some cornbread with that pea soup.
It says that's funny because I'm having bean soup tomorrow with cornbread. I don't know.
There you go.
It says, what was the puke made of in The Exorcist? This is a little fun fact for everybody. Over the years, everyone refers to the vomit here as pea soup, but it was actually porridge with pea soup coloring.
That's pea soup. It's porridge and pea soup. Come on, pea soup.
It had much better texture than pure pea soup because porridge is kind of like is an oatmeal texture. So, ew. That's just I don't know. And it was actually colored to look like vomit with little chunks in it.
This is making me hungry.
That's not making me hungry at all.
All right.
All
right, folks. I hope you're hungry. So make sure you go see and watch The Exorcist. And if you want to go see The Exorcist Believer, that's great too. You know what? Go see it and let us know how it is. Make sure to comment on this video as well. We've got plenty of episodes coming next week, Halloween themed.
Yes, we have one with Drew.
Drew, yes. Should we tease it?
We can tease it, yeah.
So our good friend Drew, J Pumpkin's coming back. We are going to be doing the villain showdown. We're going to get our top 5 villains of all time in horror movies. I'm going to throw out some curveballs. Not gonna lie.
You already said you were. It's fine.
So I can't wait. So be on the lookout for our villain showdown next week. And plus, we've got plenty of more horror movies leading up to Halloween itself. Plus, me and Megan will be at Halloween Horror Nights in the next couple of weeks. So look out for our live broadcast via Facebook. And also, we can do Instagram too, right?
We can do Instagram Live also.
Yeah,
and the Exorcist Believer House is going to be there too. So
will they have pea soup there when we get into the...
No. Sure.
Okay. So keep a lookout for that, guys. Make sure to go to our YouTube page at Come Play With Us Danny Show. Hit the subscribe and notification bell for new episodes when they drop. For myself and Megan, we will see you next time on Come Play With Us Danny. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.